is there a best way to counter a knife attack with a handgun? If they're on top of you with a knife, there is no best way to do it. Actually, don't even bother going for your handgun. You want to engage the threat, cause damage, so you can get distance and maybe have an opportunity to go for your handgun.
You know, a lot of times you won't even be able to gain control of the weapon. So if the weapon is not being dynamic and moved around, it's just being placed towards your body, then it gives you a good opportunity to gain control of that weapon. Otherwise, if they're coming at you in a stabbing motion or slashing type motion, it's attack the attacker. It's go right after them with everything you've got, defending against that knife attack while simultaneously neutralizing that threat. Something that we really stress the importance on. A lot of people seem to have this false sense of security that they carry a firearm and they could draw that firearm if a knife attack happened, or even a machete or an axe attack or hatchet, or someone's coming at you with some type of edged weapon from a close range. The reality is you're not going to have time to draw that weapon. And even if you do and you get a couple of good shots off, they probably don't even know they've been shot yet and they're still alive. And if they have that will to try to get to you, they're most likely going to still be able to get to you. The only time you're going to be able to really just shut those lights off is if you were able to get that headshot, that raccoon shot right in the middle of the head, and the chance of actually successfully accomplishing that shot under that stress.
High stress and you're beating that reactionary gap,
yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not. So you're gonna have to rely on your body, your environment to attack that attacker, neutralize the threat. Unless you have a lot of space, or maybe they've coming to attack you and they trip or fall, or they end up seeing somebody else that ends up being their victim before they get to you, and it allows you that reactionary time to be able to draw your weapon and get on target. That would be a different story.
And we're talking a lot of spaces, 30 feet plus.
Yeah.
The 21-foot rule, as we know, is a fallacy, and even 30 feet's too close in that situation. So you don't have a lot of time, and if you do have that 30 feet and you have some environmental things you can use to put in between you and the threat,
yeah,
you can make time and make space to draw that weapon.
Absolutely.
But if you don't have that and you're not looking around and utilizing your environment, then you're going to have to go take care of that threat hand to hand.
And these are all just great things to talk about, but the reality is that you start thinking, okay, I can use things in my environment, but do you train using your environment? Do you train on what you can use to put between you and a person and actually grabbing that and see what it feels like in your hands? I think it's extremely important that you find a training center, an environment where you're able to put all of these things we're talking about into a skill set that you can really feel comfortable in using. Now, every environment's going to be a little bit different, but knowing the thought process that you could pick up a bar stool or a chair in a restaurant and being able to create some distance and space between you and that person and use that as a weapon as well to be able to defend yourself is extremely, extremely important.
And to piggyback off that, do you train under stress? Do you just go to the shooting range and shoot a still target and say, yeah, you know what, that's good? Do you train under stress? Stress inoculation is very important. The use of your fine motor skills under that type of stress when someone's killing you, you wouldn't even be able to tie your shoes. So you need to go find somewhere where you can train with some type of subdued stress, added stress, even if it's running up a flight of stairs or whatever. Do 20 push-ups before and then get into the altercation. Without that, you start stumbling around and you make bad judgment calls, bad errors, fumbling for the gun or whatever. So you need to train with stress inoculation.
If you're able to find a good training center, a good qualified instructor that can teach you these skills, please do so. Please make sure you take that effort, take the time out of your life, make the financial commitment to find a good instructor and get that level of training. You're always welcome to join us or message us if you'd like to join us for one of our training events. We have people from all over the country that travel out to our survival camp up here in Maine several times throughout the year to be able to have the opportunity to train with us, and we'd love to have you come join us at some point too.